So in this video we will study about the Hodgkin's lymphoma. So what is lymphoma? So lymph is a word used for the lymphocytes here, and oma is a word used for the tumor. So now what is lymphoma? It is a malignancy of immature WBCs involving lymph nodes. So what is leukemia? There is a slight difference between the leukemia and lymphoma. Leukemia is same, that is malignancy of immature WBCs, but it involves a peripheral blood film and the bone marrow. And lymphoma involves the lymph nodes. So coming to the word Hodgkin, we have the Hodgkin lymphoma and the non-Hodgkin lymphoma. So what is the difference between Hodgkin and non-Hodgkin lymphoma? Hodgkin lymphoma involves a single group of lymph nodes, and non-Hodgkin involves a chain of lymph nodes. So in the Hodgkin lymphoma there is no extranodal involvement, but in the non-Hodgkin lymphoma there is an involvement of the extranodal tissues. And in the Hodgkin lymphoma, lymph nodes spreads it spreads in the contiguity, that is in the orderly fashion. So coming to the etiopathogenesis of the Hodgkin lymphoma, as we know that Epstein-Barr virus can cause the Hodgkin lymphoma, but how it causes? Because Epstein-Barr virus have a protein, we called it as the LMP, that stands for the latent membrane protein. So what it causes? So now we have the B cell in our body. We have the two types of the lymphocytes, B cells and the T cells. So this is a B cell, and this is a receptor called as a CD21CR2 receptor present on a B cell. This stands for the complement receptor type 2. So latent membrane protein of the Epstein-Barr virus attaches to this receptor and it sends the signals to the nucleus of the B lymphocytes. So in response to this, it causes the activation of the nuclear transcription factor. So nuclear transcription factor causes the activation of the CREL gene. CREL is a proto-oncogene. So what it causes? It increases the proliferation of B cells and it causes a neoplastic proliferation of the B cells, and there is a malignancy of the immature WBCs. So this was all about the pathogenesis. So coming to the clinical features, it is a biphasic in nature, that is the peak occurs in young and in elderly people. So most common clinical presentation of the Hodgkin lymphoma is that there is a painless enlargement of cervical lymph nodes. The patient presents with the painless enlargement of the cervical lymph nodes or the cervical lymphadenopathy. In the initial stages, it will be the painless. So other features like that of the malignancy. And there is a characteristically presence of the Pell-Epstein fever. So what is Pell-Epstein fever? It is a fever, cyclic fever, that comes in the cycles, that firstly the temperature rises and it decreases and fever again occurs. So it is called as a Pell-Epstein fever. So other features include the chest pain, dysphagia if there is a involvement of the mediastinal lymph nodes. And maybe the other features like the weight loss and night sweats. So classification, we divide the Hodgkin lymphoma into the two types. So first is a classical and second is a non-classical. So how we divide Hodgkin lymphoma into two types, classical and non-classical? This is based on the immunophenotyping. Classical is again have the 4 subtypes, and non-classical is called as a nodular lymphocytic predominant Hodgkin lymphoma. So coming to the immunophenotyping, non-classical is CD15 and CD30 negative, and classical CD15 cells are CD15 and CD30 positive, but in the non-classical what will be positive? CD19 and CD20. So this distinguishes between the classical and the non-classical, and this non-classical arises from the germinal center of lymph nodes. So there is a prognosis better or worse. So non-classical has the overall best prognosis, and in the classical the best prognosis of the nodular sclerosis and the worst is of the lymphocytic poor type. So this is nodular sclerosis, mixed cellularity, lymphocytic rich and lymphocytic poor. These are the 4 subtypes of the classical one. So coming to the histopathological feature, we know that there is a neoplastic proliferation of B cells and it converts to a characteristically appearance of cell. We call this cell as a Reed-Sternberg cell, and that gives the owl eye-like appearance. As you can see in the picture, in the histopathological, this is a Reed-Sternberg cell and there is a nucleus, and in the nucleus there is a inside there is a nucleolus, and it gives a mirror-like image and the owl eye-like appearance, but it will be the eosinophilic in nature. Nucleolus will be the eosinophilic. And owl eye-like appearance is also seen in the cytomegalovirus infection. So, but there is a difference between the cytomegalovirus infection and the Hodgkin lymphoma's Reed-Sternberg cell. So, what is the difference? In the cytomegalovirus infection, the nucleolus will be of the basophilic because it is not true nucleolus, it is the intranuclear inclusion bodies. As we know that the inclusion bodies represents the sites of the viral multiplication, and this is the cytomegalovirus infection. And in the Hodgkin lymphoma, the eosinophilic nucleolus. So in the classical type, we have the nodular sclerosis subtype. So nodular stands for the nodule formation and sclerosis or the hardening or deposition of collagen. So collagen deposition occurs in a nodular-like fashion. So when we prepare the section, the cytoplasm gets removed and there appears an empty space. So this space we called it as the lacuna. So lacuna is a word used for the empty space. So that's why we called it as a lacuna cell. This is seen in the nodular sclerosis. So in the histopath picture you can see, and coming to the another variety, that is a mixed cellularity subtype of the classical Hodgkin lymphoma. In the mixed cellularity, it is most commonly associated with the Epstein-Barr virus and the HIV infection, and it is associated with the B symptom. What is B symptom? It is a patient suffering from fever and the night sweats in the Hodgkin lymphoma or any malignancy. So in this we see the mononuclear type of Reed-Sternberg cell or the mononuclear cells. Mono stands for one or the single nucleus. So there's only one nucleus. In the previous one we see that the two nucleus inside the cell. So coming to the lymphocytic rich, there is also a presence of mononuclear cell, and the lymphocytic poor, it is of the worst prognosis. It contains a very high amount of atypical features of the B cells. And coming to the non-classical variety of the Hodgkin lymphoma. So overall it is of the best prognosis. So in the histopath picture of the non-classical Hodgkin lymphoma, we characteristically seen the cell that is called as the popcorn cells. Why popcorn cells? Because its nucleus is multi-lobed and having the more lobes, it looks like that of the kernel of popcorn. So that's why called as the popcorn cells. So this was all about the histopath picture of the all varieties of the Hodgkin lymphoma. So this is a classical type of Reed-Sternberg cells, and this is a lacunal type of cell, and this is a popcorn cell seen in non-classical type, and this is a mononuclear. So coming to the staging of Hodgkin lymphoma. So staging is called as Ann Arbor staging. So in this particularly we have the four basic stages. So in the first stage, So you can see in the picture, there's the involvement of single lymph node or the lymphoid structure, just a single. So in the second one, we have the 2 or more involvement, but on the same side of the diaphragm. So correlate with the picture. So in the third, we have on the both sides of the diaphragm, and in the fourth one, we have the extranodal involvement. So for the all types of these stages, we have two types of substages like A and B. So in the A, there will be no symptom, and B is associated with the B symptom, like as we studied, like fever, night sweats, loss of body weight. So for the all stages, we have the A and B, like for 1A and 1B. So this was all about the Hodgkin's lymphoma. Thank you.